So apparently the 40 and over side of TikTok is popping off right now. And I could not be more happy about this. I just turned 40 last month and I haven't been on my TikTok account for years, like at least 2 years. To be completely honest, it got scary. I started seeing a lot of people just like being really hateful, and I'm just not about that energy.
I must have missed 60 minutes. What are you saying?
Woman, it's the internet. It's been hateful since its inception. This is nothing new. And the only reason why you like the 40 and over TikTok scene is because it's a bunch of middle-aged screw-ups who completely had every advantage going for them, and they still found a way to botch it up and found themselves single at middle age. It's really just an excuse for a bunch of hopelessly single idiots to get together and bury their heads in the sand as they blame society for their terrible life choices. Now I get it. All of your friends and all of your family are married with children and moving on with their lives, while you have screwed up so badly that the only company you keep is a handful of cats and a couple of boxes of wine that don't even make it to the fridge until they're fully consumed. You brought that all on yourself, sister, but hey, at least you got a community on TikTok that'll at least pretend to care about what you have to say. That's something. It's not much, but it's something.
But the 40 and over side of TikTok, I'm about that. I'm about that life. Let's go to bed at 9 p.m. Let's take a gummy on a Sunday and fold laundry while we watch Love is Blind. Let's talk about what we're investing our money in. Like, I want to be friends with my fellow 40-year-olds. 40, I know I've only been here for like a month or so. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. I would like to stay here, please. So anyway, hopefully I made it to that side of TikTok.
Let's do this.
Sweetheart, you do realize it's the internet and it's filled with schmucks like me who are gonna make fun of you regardless. You live a boring lifestyle. So boring that you think taking a gummy and folding laundry while watching some movie for the umpteenth time counts as compelling content. Now, I'm no financial advisor, but I'm fairly confident that going onto TikTok to look for financial advice probably isn't the smartest idea. Now, if you're totally happy with your life, then more power to you. I honestly couldn't care less, but those nails are telling a different story, and they tell one of emotional impulsivity, unsanitary wiping, and a desperate desire to be accepted by anybody. But I hate to break it to you, sister. As you get older, the chances of that happening become less and less drastic. I know you don't believe me now, but you just turned 40. Just wait a while. You'll see what I mean.
You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle!
Tonight I had to look for my self-respect from the bottom furthest part of like my soul.
Ew. What a mess. Ew. Ew. Ew.
Because what I really wanted is tick. I want tick. But I had to be like, nope, I'm not gonna let him come. Like literally, like our conversation was like, I was like, no. But maybe, but no, I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. And then he was like, and I was like, and I was just like, no. Because why? These guys don't deserve, they don't deserve this cookie. Like, I think I'm gonna get like my period. So like, that's why I really want to like give my cookie away. Like literally at this point I'm having like a bake sale. Like I really just want to give my cookie away right now, and like I shouldn't, but I want to, but I shouldn't, but maybe I will. I'm still debating. No.
Emotional, damn it! Well, that is just absolutely charming, and I can tell from her demeanor and her colorful use of language that she has a bright future in the mistress industry. But maybe I'm giving her a little bit too much credit. She has absolutely no idea what discretion or class even is. She's going on here talking about her unending desire for male appendages and wanting to have some bedroom fun, while talking about how she had to reach deep into her rectum to find find some self-respect. And sister, you should know that is the last place you should be looking for self-respect. That's because you don't have any. That's why you're on the internet complaining about not getting any bedroom fun when you desperately want it. You are so addicted to this, it's because it's the only way you can get any type of validation. And without it, you lose your freaking mind. And that's because your brain is broken, but if we're being real here, it's not like there was much brain to begin with, now was there?
You have failed conclusively. It's over. And there is nothing that you can do here in this room that can turn that around.
Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
Hello, gentlemen and gents. I am Milton, Locke's personal emergency copyright protection voice system that is designed to activate whenever modern idiots pretend to be hardcore as they contemplate committing felonies when they're not abusing copyright laws to openly admit to wishing to commit crimes. That's why Locke is currently over at Skeeter's house, learning how to appropriately attach chains.
Whoa.
So for those of you who are blissfully unaware of what's going on in the post-election America, well, guess what? It is getting so much worse. We went ahead and got past all of these women who were screaming and flailing around like little children who didn't get their popsicles after supper. Now we're moving on to straight up sociopathic behavior. Now women are talking about actively poisoning men because they didn't get their way in an election. Now, I'm not kidding. They are talking about the intentional, premeditated ending of lives of men over something as meaningless as frickin' politics. And they're bragging about it on the internet as if this is evidence that won't be used against them in court. And this type of behavior is considered celebratory. It's empowering, and it's showing women fighting against the patriarchy. Meanwhile, I can't go so much as put 5 words online without YouTube shadow banning this channel because what I do is actively hurting people, even though these broads are technically promoting murder.
Aqua Tavana. Am I right? Aqua Tavana. If you know, you know.
Pardon the interruption. As I was saying, Skeeter has figured out a safe way to attach chains to the bottoms of hammers to create a hammer chain whip. It's kind of like the vampire slayer from Castlevania, but instead of destroying Dracula, he's just using it to knock over massive cup pyramids. Locke can't lie. He says it's pretty awesome.
That's not only unethical, Reginald, it's illegal.
You know what's really messed up about this whole thing? These broads are looking at the camera and acting like they're freaking badasses when all of they're doing is plotting the ending of lives of innocent people over something they voted for. They cannot stand the idea of losing anything in life, so what are they resorting to? They are resorting to literally killing people because they didn't get their way on something. And what's really disturbing here is they're acting like this is a completely logical and reasonable response over a meaningless political talking point that's already been grossly misinterpreted and disavowed so many times I've lost freaking count. And yet, they believe they are on the right side of history. They believe that they're the loving and accepting ones. So loving and so accepting that they are willing to poison anyone that disagrees with them. So stunning. So brave.
I can't really blame Locke for wanting to use this system to cover up copyrighted music. It's rather ironic that these women can celebrate the idea of slaying men through the means of an archaic poison and are freely allowed to use copy-protected music. But if Locke uses it, then he's the one in the wrong. But at the same time, you're not really missing much. It's just an Eminem track that's taken blatantly out of context, which is just a staple way of modern women thought who just steal whatever culture they want if it benefits what little message they actually have.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I hate to beat a dead horse on this one, but leave a comment down below if you've ever seen one of your comments deleted on a video like this. Leave a comment down below if you ever noticed your subscription to a channel that you like has been unsubscribed without your knowledge. And leave a comment down below if any of your favorite YouTubers, besides me, has been shadow banned over the last couple of years. Meanwhile, these women can go online and actively talk about committing genocide, and they get a front row seat. They're a protected class, so they can talk about whatever they want. And it wouldn't surprise me if they actually go through with it, that they would be let off with a slap on the wrist in the court system, because apparently, even when a woman is murdering a man over a pointless talking point, she is still somehow, magically, in her own twisted, sociopathic mind, a victim. There is no justice in this world.
I quit. I quit. I quit.
There's a reason why the story of the tortoise and the hare is so often repeated. Because life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you know what the ultimate indicator of power is, more than any other form of power? The thing that will indicate that someone will maintain power for the longest is this. He who can control his emotions and his reactions in what he divulges will maintain power the longest.
Wow, that's fantastic work, man. You have the wisdom of a 6,000 or 7,000-year-old man. That's fantastic. We don't have to fill up the whole blackboard after all.
Woman, the reason why The Tortoise and the Hare is such a beloved fable is because it's about keeping your ego in check, not about letting your emotions run rampant. The hare kept bragging that he was better than the tortoise, that he could run circles around him, that he was so good he could beat that tortoise in a foot race. And here's the thing, he would have won if he kept his ego in check, but he didn't, thus allowing the tortoise to win the race. That's why it's such a beloved tale. It has very little to do with emotions and more about being an egotistical jack-off, which is what you are. That is why men are typically held in positions of power, because unlike you, who will fly off the handle at the sight of a broken nail, men can actually deal with life's adversities without letting emotions get the best of them. It's called stoicism. I tell you to look it up, but I know you won't. You're lazy, and I am fairly certain you have a 3rd grade reading level. And you're welcome for the compliment, by the way.
It's not who works the hardest. It's not who's the most scary. It's not who invokes fear the most. It's not who's the most loved. It's whoever has control over themselves. If you can control your emotion, you can control anything in this world. If you can control yourself, you can control anything. Anybody. Because most people don't have control over themselves. It's easier said than done, but if you can control the way you react, the way what you have an emotional response to, you will be successful. Any successful person that I've ever known was a solution-oriented person. If they wanted something from you, they did not react, they found solutions to problems. And if they didn't want anything from you, you got no time and attention from them.
Wow, that's amazing.
And that is exactly why they are successful, and you're pandering to people on social media. You are many things, lady, but emotionally stable is not one of them, especially when a negative comment on one of your videos is enough to send you on a 4-minute long rant complaining about why you're always a victim and how they're wrong and you're right and how the world needs to be more sensitive to women because the patriarchy kept you from owning a car until 1826. You have been given the golden ticket to act as immature as you want because it's never your fault. Nothing is ever your fault. You can just do whatever the hell you want, say whatever the hell you want, and blame it on someone else, and society will embrace you because you're a victim. Even though you have a huge social media standing, you can say whatever the hell you want and people will follow your every word, and you have absolutely no idea how reality works, and yet you're still considered a champion, and you are an emotionally unhinged wreck.
And that's reasonable. Any successful person I know has control over their emotions, or they found a way to get control over their emotions, because some of them did not always have control over their emotions, but they quickly found out that if they wanted the life that they wanted, they had to figure it out. So the next time you have an opportunity, and it's an opportunity where something provokes you or something elicits a emotional response from you, take a step back and really look at the landscape and use that as an opportunity to work on the muscle that is controlling your reactions.
Who are you talking at?
hang on just a second here. Are you trying to give advice to men in regards to the virtues of emotional stability? Oh God, that is freaking rich. Woman, I'm not even convinced you can spell emotional stability, let alone give a definition for it. What makes you an expert? You are a feminist lunatic on TikTok. You're one of the most emotionally immature people on the internet. And yes, I am putting you in the same category as Game of Thrones fanatics. All you're trying to do is try to make yourself look like you've been wounded because of internet comments. Jackasses who see your videos leave a grossly misspelled half sentence on your page, and that is enough to set you off. You want to talk about emotional instability? You're constantly shaming men for either being broke or not good enough for you, but look at you, woman. You're over the age of 30, you're single, you're childless, and you'll go on a 5-minute butthurt rant if somebody types in no eggs in your comment section. Trust me, sister, you're in no position to be lecturing anybody about emotional stability. And of course, no episode would be complete without a special thank you to the members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon for making today's episode a reality. Your generosity is freaking fantastic. Thank you so much. All hail. And I also wanted to let everyone know I had a really interesting conversation with Murky, the intergalactic space mechanic who fixed my nuclear radiator the other day, and he told me that life is nothing without some goals. So, gentlemen and gents, I am setting myself up for a subscriber goal to reach 16,762 subscriptions by the end of the year. Help make this intergalactic bounty hunter's dream come true. Check to make sure that you are still subscribed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and leave some comments. Share this video. Let's go ahead and give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.